Now that we know when to pay FICA FIT, let's talk about how to pay FICA FIT. So FICA FIT, also known as OASDI, Social Security, HIGH, Medicare, and FIT, Federal Income Tax, are all paid to the federal government and are therefore called federal tax deposits when you pay them. So federal tax deposits must be made by electronic funds transfer. So you can no longer send a check in the mail. You have to do this EFT process. So you should get used to this EFT acronym. It stands for Electronic Funds Transfer. So generally, an EFT is made using Electronic Federal Tax Payment System, also called EFTPS. The advantage of using this EFTPS to make an electronic payment is the payment gets there quicker, so it's easier to make sure that it's on time, and you will have an electronic record of when your payment was made and how much was made. You can always get more information about this EFTPS or how to enroll in it by going to eftps.gov. Now, there's a lot of information online that the government provides to help you make sure that you pay your FICA FIT on time and correctly. So make sure that you use the internet to research stuff when you're not quite sure. You can also find more information on making federal tax deposits in Publication 15, which the government produces or publishes. It's online, and that would be technically in Section 11. You don't have to memorize the section or the publication number. Just realize that this information to help you do this process is available online. So how would we record the journal entry for paying FICA FIT taxes? So these taxes, FICA FIT, are all paid to the federal government together at the same time. So OASDI, Medicare, and federal income tax are all paid at the same time. Since they're all paid at the same time and with the same check, it's all one journal entry. So here's what the journal entry looks like. So the payment in this case is January 15th, so they're probably a monthly depositor. And notice they are lowering the OASDI payable, Medicare payable, and FIT payable, and then you add up the debits, and that is the cash amount, and you just enter that payment into your EFTPS. So let's get some practice making a payment. So here are your firm's entries for your last payroll. So our task is to journalize the payment of FICA FIT on February 15th. So we need to make a journal entry to pay our FICA FIT. So up at the top of the screen, I have a blank journal entry, and then on the lower left, I have our information from the previous slide. So we need to pay FICA FIT. So my first hint is, what is the first FICA tax? Let's start with OASDI. So what happens to OASDI payable when we pay the tax? Well, the payable is going to go down. So in our journal entry, we're going to debit OASDI payable. So how much are you going to debit that? Now remember, the reason I say FICA FIT is only to remind students that FICA is paid for the employee and FICA is also paid by the employer. So this is the part that students a lot of times forget, and they just assume that the OASDI amount is 117.8. But you have to pay the 117.8 for the employee and the 117.8 for the employer. So we double that amount, and the amount it is being debited is 235.6. So what's the other FICA tax? Medicare. So what happens to the payable? It goes down with a debit. So we're going to debit Medicare payable, and how much would you debit it for? 27.55? You have to do it for double that, 27.55 for the employee and 27.55 for the employer. So that's a total of $55.10. And then, of course, we have to get rid of the FIT payable. That is $170. And then we're just going to add up those debits, and then we decrease cash by that amount, which is $460.70. So that is how to record the journal entry to pay FICA, FICA, FIT.